Hello students, welcome back to our online classes. Children, today we are going to learn chapter 7 of our history textbook, Ashoka, the emperor who gave up a war. Very beautiful chapter, and you can get a very informative or a beautiful message from this lesson. Now we will learn about the Ashoka, the greatest emperor of our Indian history in this lesson. And why he gave up the war. This is a beautiful story of Ashoka, and we can learn from it a lot. Okay, now let's begin. Roshan's rupees. Roshan clutched the crisp note, and her grandfather had given her on the birthday. Now Roshan got money from his grandfather as a present on her birthday. While she badly wanted to buy a new CD, she also wanted to just see and feel the brand new notes. Now, she wanted to buy a new CD, but at the other side, she also wanted to feel the new notes. She didn't want to give up her new notes. It was then that she noticed that all of them had a smiling Gandhiji printed on the right. She noticed that all of them have the smiling Gandhiji printed on the right, and a tiny set of lions on the left. Now she also saw that along with the Gandhiji there are the set of lions. Now that's the national emblem of our country, right? So she saw that Gandhiji and the lions are printed on the note. Now she wondered, now why are the lions or the Gandhiji, why are the lions here? Why what are they, what do they indicate? So this is the situation given, right? A very big kingdom and empire. Now let's begin with the lesson. A very big kingdom and empire. The lion that we see in our notes, on our notes and coins, have a long history. Now lions that which we see usually on our notes or on coins have a very long history. They were carved in stones and placed on the top of a massive stone pillar at Sarnath. Now, this where does this image, or where does this comes? Lions, three-headed lions. From where does this come? Then it's we can find this kind of carvings done on a massive stone pillar in Sarnath, okay, which we have learned in chapter 6 already. Ashoka was one of the greatest ruler known to the history. Ashoka is considered to be the greatest Indian ruler known to the history. Okay, and he used to whatever instructions were there, he used to inscribe it on the pillars. So inscribing means what we have no. Inscription is a source of history in which all the instructions are carved on a rougher or a hard surface. Understood. So in Ashoka's period we can find lot of inscriptions. Okay, what he had inscribed on pillars as well as on rocks surfaces. Okay, so before we find out what he has written in this inscription, let us see why this kingdom is called an empire. Now what is the difference between a kingdom and an empire? Let us see. The empire that Ashoka ruled was founded by his grandfather Chandragupta Maurya. Now Ashoka was the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya. More than 2300 years ago, the Mauryan Empire emerged. Chandragupta was supported by a wise man named Chanakya or Kautilya. Now he was supported by a very wise man named as Chanakya. Many of the Chanakya's ideas were written down in a book called Arthashastra. Many ideas. He was a very intelligent and a wise man. He advised the Chandragupta Maurya on each and every step, and because of him, the Mauryan Empire had a vast expansion. Okay, so Chanakya's idea were written in the book called Arthashastra. Now, dynasty. What is the meaning of dynasty? This is very important. You have to know. When a member of the same family become rulers. See, you have to keep this in mind. When the member of the same family means when they become ruler, one after another, the family is often called as dynasty. For example, see, the Mauryas were a dynasty with three important rulers. First ruler was Chandragupta Maurya was the founder of the Mauryan dynasty. His son, his son Bindusara became the emperor. After that, his son Ashoka, that means you understood, Chandragupta Maurya, uska beta Bindusara, and again his son Ashoka. So when this comes hereditary, for example, grandfather, then father, then his son, again his son, when it becomes hereditary like this, then what happened, that particular kingdom is known as a dynasty. Okay, understood? So this is, there are several cities in the empire. There were several cities marked here, you can see, marked with the black dots. Can you see Patliputra? This marked with the black dot. Patliputra, Ujjain, right? Taxila. These are the cities, major cities of the Mauryan Empire. Now, why were they considered to be a major cities? Now, let's see. Now, these included the capital. Now, see, the Mauryan Empire capital was Patliputra. You have to keep this in mind. Now, Patliputra, Taxila, Ujjain. Taxila was a gateway to northwest, including Central Asia. Yes, it was a gateway. Central Asia. Can you see here? Central Asia, northwest, right? So it was a gateway. From there, it was easily in Central Asia was easily accessible, right? While Ujjain lay on the route from north to south India. Ujjain, where is Ujjain? Yes, it was, we can connect to the South India easily from Ujjain. Merchants, officials, and craft persons probably lived in these cities. Now, merchants means merchants, officials, and the craft persons, all the higher authorities mainly lived in these cities. In other areas, there were villages of farmers and uh, villages of farmers and herders. And whereas in the villages, mainly the farmers and the herders live. In some areas such as central India, there were forests where people gathered fruit, produce, and hunted animals for food. People in different parts of the empire spoke different language, obviously, and people in different empire is very very vast, right? So it's very natural that people from the different parts of this empire are going to speak different languages. They probably ate different kinds of food and wore different kinds of clothes as well. They probably ate different kinds of food. They spoke different languages. They ate different food and also wore different clothes. Okay, now how are the empires different from kingdoms? Then the question arises: how are the empires different from the kingdoms? The empire means what? Emperor needs more resources than kings. It's very natural that emperor is going to need more resources than king, because the empire is vaster than the kingdom. It's very very big compared to the kingdom. If you are ruling a big part of a land, it's natural that you will need more resources, right? So emperors need more resources than kings, because empires are larger than kingdom. Empires are huge than the kingdoms. Kingdoms are the smaller part of the empire, okay, and needed to be protected. And then if you are ruling big land, then it's natural that you will need a big huge army to protect it. So obviously you will need more money. Emperor needed more money than the kings, okay. So they need a large number of officials also, then yes, and they will need large number of officials also to work under them to collect the taxes and all, right? So ruling an empire. So you understood the difference between empire and kingdom. Now let's see how the empire is ruled. As the empire was so large, different parts were ruled differently. Empire was so large, and the different parts were ruled differently. The area around Patliputra was under the direct control of the emperor. Now here we are talking about the Mauryan Empire. Now we have known the Mauryan Empire capital was Patliputra. As the empire was very large, different parts were ruled differently, and the area under Patliputra was a capital. So it's obvious that the area under the control will be of the emperor itself, right? This meant the officials were appointed to collect taxes from farmers, herders, craftspersons, and traders who lived in the villages and towns in the area. Now what happened here? The officials were appointed, why? To collect the tax from the farmers, herders, craftspersons, traders, etc., who lived in the villages and towns, right? Okay, many of these officials were given salaries, and these officials were given salaries. They were given salaries. Messengers went to and fro. Yes, they had appointed. Now how the king used to see, or how the king used to supervise all this work? How are the men or the officials appointed doing the work properly or not? For them, he had kept the messengers to, they went to and fro, and the spies were kept to watch and officials. See, there were spies who were appointed so that they can keep a keen watch on the officials whether they are working or not. And those spies used to directly report to the emperor. Okay, so this kind of thing was done because due to this, what officials had a fear in the mind that if at all, if we go do anything wrong, emperor can know easily from the spies. That's why in this way the ruler emperor used to rule the proper way. Okay, see, now messengers went to and fro, and the spies kept a watch on the officials, and of course the emperor supervised them all with the help of the members of the royal family and the senior ministers. And with the help of the royal family members and the senior ministers, he used to keep the watch on overall kingdom. There were other areas of provinces. Each of these were ruled from the provincial capital, such as Taxila and Ujjain. Not only from Patliputra, but Taxila and Ujjain were also very important cities. Okay, although there were some amount of control from Patliputra, the royal princes were often sent as governors. Local customs and the rulers were probably followed. See, now what he did, not only Patliputra had the importance, Taxila and Ujjain also had an equal importance. And what royal princes were sent as a governors. It means his family members, princes from the royal family were sent as a governors to these kind of cities, and then they looked after the local customs of that area, the rules, and they used to watch whether the rules are followed or not, everything. Okay, besides, there were vast area between these centers. Here the Mauryas tried to control roads and rivers. See, not only this, the Mauryas tried to control. It's very important that we should have a control over the rivers. Okay, which is because it is used for transport. Okay, now which were important for transport. Why it was important to have a control over the roads and rivers? Because at that time it was mainly used for the transport, and to collect whatever resources were available as a tax and tribute. For example, the Arthashastra tells us the northwest was important part of blankets. Now see, what in northwest blankets were very famous, and the South India was famous for its gold and precious stone. It is possible that these resources was collected as a tribute. So it is possible that these kind of resources were collected as a tribute. Now, what is the meaning of tribute? You'll understand. See, unlike taxes which were collected on the regular basis, tribute was collected as when it was possible from the people who gave the variety of things more or less willingly. Means apart from the taxes, whatever the people gave to the king, willingly or unwillingly, to come in the good looks of the king. Understood? Means beside taxes, people also gave something as a something willingly to the king as a gifts. Understood? So these kind of things are known as tribute. And so I think we will wait here, and this is the part 1. Part 2 I will make later on. Okay, thank you.